Hi, everybody. My name is Reverend Molly Basquette, and I'm the lead minister at First Church Berkeley-UCC. Our faith as Christians calls us to tend to the needs of the most vulnerable. And in fact, our holy scriptures say that whenever we meet someone who is in need, it's as if we're meeting and have an opportunity to serve Jesus Christ himself. So we don't take that lightly. And that makes us very grateful to have amazing partners to work with, like East Bay Housing Organizations, as well as other local agencies. Today you're going to see an interview between Alice Clark, who's the chair of our Affordable Housing Aficionados group at our church, talking with Roshone Atkins from Berkeley Food and Housing Project, with whom we've partnered on a number of occasions, being the hands and feet of Christ in the world. And Roshone's going to share with us some of how their work has adapted through the COVID crisis, as well as give some ideas for how groups like ours, and like maybe a group that you're a part of, can fill in the gaps in care and really be a loving presence to those who are struggling and afraid and without their basic needs met. And finally, I'd like to ask for a little prayer or good vibes coming our way. In the next few weeks, we're going to be taking a mail-in vote about how to rebuild our campus after our fire. And our group that's been studying this has formally recommended that as part of the campus rebuild, we put up an all-new building that's affordable housing. So you can hold us in prayer and your good thoughts as we discern God's future for us right here south of campus in Berkeley. Thanks for tuning in, and God bless you and all of your good works on behalf of those who need shelter and dignified housing. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hello, Roshone.
Hi, Alice.
It's wonderful to see you again, even though we can't be together.
It's lovely to see you too, Alice.
Okay, great. Well, I just want to share with our church the relationship that we have built over the last year of doing service together. And it's such a treat. It's been such a treat working with you, Roshone. That's why I wanted you to be here with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So just for my viewers, let me remind you that we're talking to Roshone Atkins of the Berkeley Food and Housing Project, to which we have donated items for people to be moved into new houses. So that's been very exciting for us at Christmas time to do the welcome home baskets. And one of the things I want to ask you about is if you have any satisfied customers.
Of course. Hi, church family. So of course we have satisfied customers. I wanted to share a story concerning a very large family that we were able to assist with the home baskets, and it was really different, their reaction to receiving the basket, and it stuck with me. So I wanted to share that with you.
Oh, please tell us that story.
So we were referred to a family that was sleeping in their car, a family of 6. And so 2 parents, 3 children. One of the children was disabled. And they had their own place, and because of the economics, they lost their place. But the father worked and had a pretty good income. So it was referred to us, and we were able to get them in pretty quickly into a 2-bedroom unit they would be able to afford with their income. And when they were moving in, we delivered the basket to them, and it was weird, their reception to it. They wanted to know, where did it come from? They wanted more information, and that did we just buy it? And so we explained to them the process of what the church did and how they put everything together, organized it, collected the things, and then created these baskets. I think for me, the way that the family reacted to the fact that someone cared in that way to do all the processes that it took just to deliver this to them. It was amazing to me. So now, going forward, I always tell the story of how this became, everything that the church had to do to organize it in order for it to get to them. But they were so grateful, I think, of the thoughtfulness of it. More than the items that was in the basket, I think the thoughtfulness affected this family. And the mother just cried. She was so grateful that she had something to start with because they had lost so much.
Oh, well, that's wonderful to tell that story about how they responded to us and how you then absorbed the fact that you need to tell our story to the people who are coming into homes.
Yes, and
But
so I understand that now. I understand that I need to tell your story as well as sharing their stories with you.
Well, that keeps us building this relationship, and I love that.
Thank
But
you.
I also am thinking that, of course, they didn't have enough stuff. That was a family, you said, of 5 or 6, and our basket hadn't been provided for all those people, so you needed to supplement all that, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We did need to supplement, and we did reach out to other organizations and the funder of this actual project in order to support this family further. And they are now doing well, and we are no longer subsidizing, and they have completely taken over their rent. Very wonderful success story.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm glad that they got the picture about what it meant to us to do these projects.
Yeah.
That's great. So I remember meeting you for the first time last November when Laura Leverton and I came to an open house that your organization was having. And we just wanted to find out more about what did you need and what should we do. But I was just very fascinated to meet you and to speak with you because you are the Team Hope program manager. What a nice name, Team Hope. And you explained to me and to Laura how you provide hope to the people on the street. I wonder if you can tell us something about that.
I think that this work is built on building relationships with people, and it's not just about the service that you're providing, but the fact that they can trust you. There's so many different organizations and people that they come in contact with that our clients may feel like they haven't gotten any help. They've been out here for a long time. No one's stuck in there. And so I train my team to give hope, to consistently say, this is going to work. This is going, if you stick with me, I'll stick with you. And so it works. It works. Sometimes it takes a long time to build trust with someone to where they're willing to work with you to move into housing. And they're afraid. They're afraid of once they get into the housing, will they be successful? They don't want to fail. And what kind of support will they receive once they're housed in order to retain the housing? Will we stick in there, or are we going to place them and walk away? And then they get evicted, or they just don't have the tools to keep the housing. So the hope concept is also built on aftercare, the aftercare of it. And then in order to do this work, there's love. You know, there's love in this work. And so we have to be okay with the fact that we love each other. And even though it's work and it may not be politically correct, but we love each other. And that's why this work is easy for us.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. I don't see how work of that kind can ever be incorrect.
Thank you.
Work based on love, and love that you are working with people. That's
Yes.
great. So thanks for sharing that. It was just so impressive to be in your presence for the first time and really realize the power of connection that you are able to project and share and build.
Thank
So
you.
it's very, much more of a personal way of dealing with a social problem than I had encountered before.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So now that we're in this coronavirus shutdown, what are you able to do?
So a lot of our staff is currently working from home, but we do have outreach efforts. And so right now I'm leading an outreach effort to support seniors. Thankfully, we've had programs that are behind us and support us. And so what we're currently doing is we are going around outreaching to seniors with underlying conditions and getting them into safe places.
Well, that's desperately needed.
Most definitely. We're worried about our seniors out here, and usually it's really hard to get them to go in, but we were able to get them to go into a motel. We're managing them from the motel, and then what we're hoping is while these seniors are in the motel, that we can build a relationship, case manage with them, and then possibly get them to cycle into housing. So we're hoping that that's where this will go. But in the meantime, we just want to get them in a safe place.
Shelter.
So it's
shelter.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
essential to save lives.
Yes. And so we have probably about one program is about 12 seniors that are currently housed. And then we have another program where it's veterans, and it's about 60 veterans that we've gotten in. And then we have another program where we're transferring seniors that are in shelter environments that may not be safe for them right now to be in a shelter environment.
Right.
And we have to be careful and put them in a place where they can isolate from others. And so we've taken them from the shelter and put them in a motel where they can be alone and not have to worry about other people bringing them something.
Well, absolutely. That's very important to save them from getting infected. But how are you able to work with them?
So we use protective masks, gloves, but there is no option to say, well, we're essential right now.
Yes.
And there's no option for us to say, well, we can't do it right now.
Right.
Because our community needs us. And so what we do is we protect ourselves and our families. We follow the guidelines of how we enter back into our homes and our cars, but we're out here.
Well, I'm so happy that you are able to be out there and to work one-on-one with people, because that was what I felt was the strength of your program, is the working one-on-one with people.
Yes.
So did they protect also when you're speaking to each other?
Yes, so we do provide masks and gloves to the client, because most of the time when we do place you, we provide you with a food card or something to support you over the time that you're in the stay-in order. And so you need a protective item to be able to go to the grocery store once a week. And so we do provide those to the clients so they're able to protect themselves during their stay at the motel.
And also they get to see you more than once.
Oh, they're going to see us consistently. And so what we do is that there's a wellness check that we do every day. And it's over the phone. And then 3 times a week, it's face-to-face. So the wellness check is just basically checking in on you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you breathing? You know, are you feeling any symptoms or possibility of symptoms? And we are documenting that so we can make sure that if any of our clients become ill, that we can get them to the proper place.
And have you had to transport any to hospital?
We've had to transport, but not to the hospital. So we have had clients that are exhibiting symptoms, and there's a program that's called Safer Ground, and then there's another program through the government, the county, and there are motels that have doctors, nurses, and therapeutic assistants there, and assistance with substance abuse.
Wow.
So people can go in and have a safe place to be that they can actually handle. And so they do the transporting if a person is exhibiting symptoms. If a person is not exhibiting symptoms, then we do transport.
So you're keeping them safe. If they're not well, you have a way to take care of them.
Yes.
So how is the population doing in terms of really serious outbreaks among them?
So currently in Alameda County, we're not seeing the level of outbreak, but I can't say that there isn't one because we're not testing to the level that we would like to.
Of course, it's a problem all over the country.
It's not available. So it could be a lot of people that currently are affected and we all just don't know. And
Right.
So we really can't say, you know, what the level is, but we're just trying to do preventative work.
Well, it seems that that's what you're able to do. And I'm very happy to know that because it's easy to imagine this virus just spreading like wildfire among the unhoused people.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that is also happening.
We're worried about it, but we're unable to determine if it's so because we don't have a way to test. Excuse me. But we are worried about it and we are discussing it. So just so you know, we have 3 meetings a week with the county and the state. And what the meetings are web meetings and Zoom meetings where we do trainings and they train us on how to protect ourselves and the client, and then also update us on what the government has decided, what they're giving us in order to be able to do this work, how we can access funds, how we can access assistance, how we can access client wellness and care programs during this time. And it's really quick, the way that they were able to organize this and put it together and how everyone is coming together and working so cohesively and coordinated is very impressive.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. And that I'm impressed that you're doing all these different functions in your work right now, is attending all these meetings and processing these governmental issues that are going on to help the people, plus going to visit the people, keeping track of each of your clients on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah.
You're very busy, right?
We are all very busy right now, even more than before. It would seem like working from home sounds like, you're lounging and watching The Young and the Restless. But no, it is not. It's really double the work that we were doing before because we have to figure out how, like, we could have a meeting, get it over with in an hour, and that's it. But right now, there's a lot of communication that needs to happen, a lot of documentation, a lot of outreach, and we're doing a lot on the fly. So we come up with ideas and we're hit the road with it.
Well, I'm so glad that you can be on both sides of that, but I'm sure you value that in-person care that you're still able to do,
Oh, for sure.
because otherwise it could become just a bureaucratic, runaround, right?
Right. I mean, it's really good to get out here and work with the people, and I appreciate being able to still look someone in their face
Yes,
and for them to not feel, because this is a time where you can feel lonely.
I'll say. Those
Yeah,
that are so comfortable and privileged, we're lonely even though we're comfortable.
yeah.
So, yeah,
So you can imagine that people that are used to going to eat at the shelter every day,
yeah,
or they're used to congregating in park settings and
yes,
hanging out, and they don't have these options right now,
yes.
it can become lonely for them. And so all of us as providers, we go out and we're still going to talk. We're going to give you the 6 feet, but we're going to talk to you and see what is that you need.
Right,
What
right.
kind of resource can we help you with? Because it can become a lonely time. People get depressed.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you, Roshone, and I'm grateful for your agency, which does such wonderful work, and I'm so glad that we are engaged with you in this way. Would you please tell us what more can we do in partnership with you during this time?
We were just talking about you guys and how much we appreciate you. And the reason that I'm doing this is just because we want to say how much we appreciate and love your efforts. I think that anything that you are able to do, so the right now we have people that we're delivering food to. Luckily, the government is helping us with that, and so we're able to apply for things. I'm not really positive what type of support the agency needs on that, but
Okay.
I do know that when we house people, sometimes gift cards, gift cards can be helpful for them. Or it, like this basket is so wonderful and it meant so much. Like some of the little things that you thought of, like flashlight. We
Uh-huh,
actually had a blackout season,
uh-huh.
and the fact that you provided flashlights that we had in back, it was wonderful. We had people that they just had a flashlight that they wouldn't have usually had.
I have an idea then that you should send me a list of the things that people could use right now that aren't the whole welcome basket, because that's a very big campaign, but a
Okay.
smaller set of things that we could work on from this distance with each other, but still we could make collections of items and bring them.
Oh, that would be great. I think that dry food is a wonderful thing. Dry fruit, nuts. So we'll make a list for you for sure. I think being able to hand out things that a person can preserve and eat has been a little bit of a difficulty. So that would be helpful to us.
Well, food is definitely something that we could do. We have been providing some to an activist who takes food to the encampments. And for them, she only wants flip top cans. Now, I remember that we provided can openers for the people with the baskets, but
Yes.
not all the folks that you're having in the motels are getting these baskets, right?
No. And so we provide baskets to people when they move into the unit. The
Yeah.
people at the motel, we're providing case management. We're giving them a gift card once a week for them to eat. And then we're also connecting them with health care. And we're connecting them with permanent supportive housing applications. And our hope is to put them in housing from the motel after the stay order. So that's what we're working on.
What do the people in the motels need? The things that you mentioned before?
So the people like dried fruit,
Yeah.
toothpaste, toothbrush,
Uh-huh.
are really, really good items. Deodorant.
Okay, great.
Is a really good item that we could, as we place you in a motel, that we could provide you some
Great.
self-care items.
Right, right. How many people do you have in these motels? How many motel rooms do you have?
So right now, it's a day-to-day thing. We have about 60 plus veterans in the motel system. We have about 12 seniors in one system. And then there's several shelter people that went, but they are provided for. They have pretty much what they need. So probably about 80 clients that we're supporting right now in the motels.
Okay, great. Well, I'll look into what people want to do. And I think just keeping going with having this supportive relationship with each other is a wonderful thing for us and for our church and our sense of being connected and useful in the world.
Thank you. We need this connection. We appreciate having you, and being able to depend on you in the way that we have is a wonderful thing.
Well, Roshone, it's been wonderful talking to you today. And we may do this again, because after I share this with the church, there may be a demand for some more conversations.
Oh, I love it.
I love it because, you know, we had intended to get you to come back to church and speak from the pulpit again, as you had done before. And when that fell through, I couldn't figure out what we were going to do until we came up with this process. So
yes.
This is a very nice process, and I appreciate your joining us for this.
Oh, no problem. This is wonderful. It actually makes my day. You need some light. I really need some light at this time. And so this is very light for me, and I appreciate it.
Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay.
God bless you too. Bye, church family.
Bye-bye, Roshone.
Bye.